One of those mornings. Hi, I'm Leslie.
I'm Stephanie.
And we are the Hand Readers Guild. And we are here one day before Valentine's Day. If you're watching this live, if you're watching our recording, it could be any day. But we are recording this one day before Valentine's Day. And we're here to talk to you about heart lines and what they mean for you and relationships. So before we get into the good stuff, we just want to talk a little bit about who we are. We are the Hand Readers Guild. We are both individuals, hand analysts, and we have joined together because we love to teach this stuff to you. And we have a Facebook page where you can join us and like us and see some of the things we post and get notices when these videos go live. We have a YouTube channel that you can subscribe to. You might be watching us live there now. And we have a Facebook group called Hand Readers Guild Forum, which we would love it if you join us. Where, especially on the topic of heart lines, there's a lot of postings in there about different variations and things that you can see on your own heart line and learn a little bit about yourself. So now that you know who we are, we have one more thing to say, which is our disclaimer, which is that we do not edit these. We are going live from our homes.
Mm-hmm.
I have dogs.
I have dogs. I have some kids that wander around.
So we try not to have any interruptions, but occasionally stuff happens and we just laugh, and we hope you'll laugh with us. And with that said, let's get to our slideshow. So today we are talking about the heart line. So where is your heart line? The crease that goes horizontally across the top of your hand, that is your heart line. And you probably have two creases horizontally across your hand. The heart line is the top one. The one below it is your headline. If you have a single crease, you need to go watch a different video because that's called a simian crease, and we have an entire video on that. Mm-hmm. It basically is a merging of the head and the heart line. But today we're going to talk mostly about those folks who have, or exclusively actually, about the heart line. So it represents the type of emotional system you have. And it also talks about what you want in a relationship. Now, how you go about getting it isn't necessarily shown in the heart line. It can be shown in other parts of the hand. But the heart line definitely talks about the basis of what you're going after, what's your need, what your emotional system needs. Mm-hmm. So there are 4 basic types of heart lines. And there are 2 factors we're going to look at here. One is whether it's curved or whether it's flat.
Or flat.
Curved or flat. And the other is which finger does it end under. So we talk about it ending either under Jupiter. That is your index finger. Or it might end under Saturn. Thank you for the visuals, Stephanie.
I have rings on those fingers today.
That is the middle finger.
Yes.
Is Saturn. So between these 2 factors, you can have it curving, ending under Jupiter, or flat, ending under Jupiter, or curving, ending under Saturn, or flat, ending under Saturn. Heart lines that end under Jupiter are what we call you first, meaning you put the other person before your own needs. Heart lines that end under Saturn are, take it away, Stephanie.
Me first.
Right.
The people that need to do it first, they think of themselves first.
They think of themselves first. Mm-hmm. Neither one is wrong. It just is. And, aha. We warned you. Curving heart lines are expressive. Think about the curve. Flat heart lines, the ones that just go straight across, are more reserved. So, not honoring your heartline type will lead to unsatisfying relationships. So, we're going to go through each of these 4 types with you and tell you in more detail what they mean. We're going to start with the curving heartline that ends under Jupiter, under your index finger. It's called the big heart. So this is you first and expressive. Expressive, you first. Generous, the big heart. I am expressing myself to put you first, right? Caring. Giving. What else would you say?
Oh, they are nurturing.
Nurturing. That's a good big heart word.
Yeah.
In fact, I used to call this the nurturer.
Right.
Good listener.
Sensitive to other people's feelings.
Right. And their feelings are close to the surface. This is the person who's most likely to cry at a sad movie.
Or a commercial.
Right. Some of those Super Bowl commercials might be one of the ones we cry at. Who knows?
Right.
So now, what does the big heart need? Connection. This is the heartline that wants to be close.
Yes. This is the one that likes to be holding hands out when you're taking a walk.
Right.
Or, to be noticed and say, hey.
Cuddling.
Yeah. Put your arm around me.
Right. Sweet words, whispering sweet nothings, all of that.
A little peck on the cheek.
Right. Sharing. Let's tell each other everything. Okay. What do they hate?
Disconnection.
Right. Aloofness.
Yeah.
Right. Yep. That is what they do not want.
Why did they not text me 5 minutes from the minute I text them first?
Right. Exactly. Okay. So let's look at another big heart. This is a couple more. We're going to look at a couple more examples. This person also has the big heart coming up. It fades a little as it gets up towards the finger, but that's because the lines on this hand are a little bit kind of staticky, nervousy anyway. Now, this person, we talked about earlier how I said the heartline talks about what you need, but not how you go about getting it.
Right.
This person has a marking under their pinky. All of the vertical lines under the pinky, and you can see them pretty clearly on this print. You need 6 of these. It's something called the medical stigmata. And we have a whole video about the medical stigmata. If you think you have one of these on your hands, you should go check it out.
Yeah.
So this person, the medical stigmata is basically the mark of the gifted healer. It means you have the ability to help other people become better versions of themselves or do something that changes the world in some way. Basically, you're a facilitator for positive change. Now, the danger with having a medical stigmata, and this is a huge no-no if you have this mark, is that you should never use it on the people you love. And that's partners or children or parents or siblings, any person you're close to.
And this is regardless of whatever heartline you have.
Regardless of whatever heartline you have. Exactly.
Yeah.
So now a person with a big heart who has a medical stigmata could very well try to get closeness by trying to fix their partner. Now, if they're doing that, they are not going to get the closeness they need. But they might get some lessons about it.
Yes. Yes, that's true.
Right. Because what happens if you try to fix your partner, if you have a medical stigmata, whether you have a big heart or any type of heartline, but I would say this is the one most likely to try to be fixing.
Yes.
Because it is a you first. I'm putting you first. I'm looking at all your needs. I see you have this thing not working in your life. Let me take care of that for you.
I see your potential. Let's work on your potential.
Right. Instead of your own.
Yes.
So yes. So, and what happens then? The relationships go sour. All right. Here's another big heart. And this one, you can definitely see it swoops down and heads up to that index finger. And they have some, they don't have a lot of lines in their hands, but they have lines pretty much most everywhere, except on this area of the hand down here. Now, this heel of your hand is called the mound of the moon. So you want to talk about what we find in the mound of the moon?
The mound of the moon is about intuition and your instincts and dreams. It's
And
where
your inner voice.
inner voice, yeah, where you hear from your gut
Right.
instincts.
It's your deepest place.
Mm-hmm.
And we have a whole video about the mound of the moon too. So we're hitting on all the points of all the videos today. Now, this person, their mound of the moon is fairly blank. This is something we call
the tundra syndrome.
Tundra syndrome, like the frozen tundra.
Yep.
What that means is that this person is not comfortable going down into their deepest feelings.
Yep.
They are closed off from that place of deep knowing. So what is that going to do for someone who requires closeness and emotional connection in a relationship?
Ooh, that's a little delicious dilemma.
Yeah, it's a dilemma because if they can't get in touch with their own needs,
how
are they going to
get in touch with someone else's? Yeah.
Right. Or how are they going to get them met from somebody outside of themselves if they're not meeting it themselves?
Right. Or ask for it or even be aware of it.
Right.
Consciously or unconsciously aware of it.
Right. So this person really wants to have all the touchy-feelies, but they're afraid of them at the same time.
Touch me, don't touch me. Is this a cat? Pet me, don't pet me.
Oh, it could be.
Yeah.
All right, let's talk about the curved heart line that ends under Saturn. It's called the passionate one. And we do see some passionate heart lines that swoop up and end up under the middle of the finger. But more often than not, it actually goes in between the index finger and the middle finger. So I just wanted to show you an example so that this actually is not the big heart. This qualifies as the passionate heart line. Once it's past the end of the index finger towards the middle of the hand, anywhere from there to the, I've never seen one go to the far side of the middle finger.
Not too far, no.
No,
unless
but
it has a flip or something.
But the middle,
Mm-hmm.
all of those qualify as the passionate heart line. So the passionate heart line is fiery, intense. It's a me first. Remember, it ends under the middle finger. It ends under Saturn. That's a me first. And it's expressive. So that's why we call it passionate. Takes care of themselves first. Knows what they want.
And they want it now.
Want it now, right.
They also, when they take care of themselves, they expect others to take care of themselves as well. So they better have, their partner better be spit shined and beautiful when they go out together.
Right. They have some high expectations.
High expectations, yep.
Right. What do they need in a relationship? Excitement.
Excitement and the thrill of the chase.
And freedom to be themselves. They don't like anybody like reining them in.
Right. Don't tell me who I am.
Right. Or what I should be doing right now.
Right.
I'm going after my biggest desires.
Yep.
And what do they hate?
They hate being bored.
They hate being bored.
Stagnation.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
If you're boring, your passionate heart-like partner is going to move on pretty quick.
Gone.
Right. So you better keep thinking of interesting things to do with your passionate heartline partner.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Here's another passionate heartline. And again, this one comes up in between the fingers. Now, I love this hand because of how widespread those fingers are. I can't even make my fingers do that.
I can't make my fingers do that.
It's really, really difficult. And when I do, my pinky kind of goes forward. It's the only way I can make my pinky do that.
Yeah.
But some people, their fingers just do this naturally. If you just ask them to put their hands up,
Mm-hmm.
I mean, mine are more like this.
Yeah.
Some people's are like that. And that's what we call the Bohemian spread. So a passionate heartline with Bohemian spread fingers, boy, those go together really well.
Mm-hmm.
However, this person, their headline is modifying that passion just a little bit. So they have a headline that goes fairly straight across, has a tiny little dip, but at the very end, it kind of goes whoop, back up towards the pinky finger. And what that is we call that the headline, we call it Just the Facts. What would you say about that headline?
Yep. I'm going along with everything until, nope, that didn't sound right. I need factual information now.
Right. Whereas
we were good until that point, and now it's not good.
Right. Whereas the passionate person is probably going to be game for most things, and the Bohemian spread person is definitely going to say, "Hey, I'll try that once.
We'll do this."
Right. That Just the Facts headline is saying, there is an element of hold the phone.
Hold the phone here. Let's stop and take a minute.
That's a good way to put it. I love that. Yep. So there's a little part of caution in there too. So they may not necessarily be just a true version of themselves. Other things are going on, and that may get in the way of them getting what they need in relationship, or they may go about it in a different way than if they were a true Bohemian. So now we're going to look at the flat heartline, long flat heartline that ends under Jupiter. This one is particularly long. It almost goes to the end of the hand. It doesn't have to be quite that long. We call this one the romantic idealist. Sometimes we call it the rational romantic. So this is the person who's always thoughtful in their head about their relationships. Remember, we said it's reserved, and it's a you first. You first, reserved in relationships. So they're going to be the one who remembers your birthday. They keep notes and lists about when those dates are. They don't display their feelings a lot.
So they may remember your birthday, but they may not act on it. I remember you have a birthday, but I forgot to get you a card.
Right. They don't just right. They do a lot of mental processing. They're always thinking like, what might happen next in this relationship. They spend a lot of time in the past and the future. So if you said something that they didn't quite understand, or that didn't land well with them, they're going to like go over it in their head over and over and over and over and over about what did that what did that really mean? What did they mean by that?
Now I have a question for you. With these romantic idealist heartlines, do you often see the same kind of long headline as well?
I do, but not always. Okay. I mean, this one does have a long straight headline. It looks like somebody took those two lines and ran like two ruled lines right across. They're almost parallel, aren't they?
Yeah.
I do sometimes. Do you?
I have just been noticing that recently.
Yeah, I do. So that means that their head and their heart are kind of on the same page. But I'm going to say it's not 100%.
Yeah, everybody has difference, but yes.
Right. But yeah, I do think it's somewhat common.
Yeah. I always look for a little pattern here and there.
I do see that. And I think the next example we have does the same thing. So this person, what do they need in their relationship? Meaning.
Yep.
It needs to mean something. And they like long talks. They want to talk out everything.
What's the meaning of life? How did we get here? Why do you like me?
Right. What do they hate?
Right. They hate they hate fights.
Fights. Oh my God. They will avoid conflict at all costs.
Yeah. Peace at all costs.
Right. And we're going to see that.
Along.
Right. Exactly. We're going to see that in this next hand for sure. So here's another one where the head, well, actually this one has a split.
Oh.
This one has a headline that curves down.
Yeah.
That line that runs parallel to the heart line, that's something else. So this one does not have a parallel heart headline.
No, it's a Persephone headline.
It's right. It's a very, very right-brained emotional headline and a very, very left-brained heart line. So this person might feel confused sometimes.
Yeah. I don't know how to feel.
Right. Well, and this is this hand shows a lot of anxiety just because by the nature of the lines. If they look like someone put their finger in the electric socket and there's a lot of little static energy on it.
Right.
So now here's two things to notice about this heartline. This heartline goes and dips over. It topples over at the very end under the Jupiter finger. It bends downwards towards the headline. This is actually a marking that has a name. It's called the bending over backwards line. And the bending over backwards line is a reinforcement of that I will avoid conflicts at all costs.
Mm-hmm.
I will do whatever it takes. I will bend over backwards. I will put all my needs aside.
Right.
Whatever it takes to not have a fight with you.
Mm-hmm.
So now the other thing that's going on is if you look at the nature of the heart line, it looks like a braid, like somebody took the lines and crisscrossed them over each other. Braided heart lines show someone who isn't sure that the all the work that it takes to have a relationship is worth it.
Yeah.
Now, if someone is bending over backwards and giving away all their power, because think about it, when someone's the index finger is the power finger, and if your line droops this way, where's your power going?
Yeah, down.
Mm-hmm. Giving it away. It doesn't seem implausible that they might wonder whether the relationship is worth it. It's so this person, what the things that they're doing to try and get their needs met, I'd say isn't necessarily working.
Not working quite well.
Not working quite well. All right. The last of the 4 heartline types is the hermit. It is the short, flat heartline ending under the middle finger. And this is actually a longer hermit. I've seen shorter ones.
Oh, yeah. I've seen a lot of shorter ones.
Shorter ones, much shorter ones. This one, comes right to the edge of the middle finger, but it still qualifies as a hermit. Who is the hermit? Oh my gosh. The hermit, that title just describes it perfectly.
It does, yeah.
They are loyal. They are predictable. They keep things to themselves. They never show their feelings ever. They throw themselves into their work.
Yep.
And they need, more than anything else, space. Now, this doesn't mean that they can't have a relationship, but they need space within the container of the relationship. So you can be married to a hermit, but you better give that person space.
That's like having 2 bedrooms. You have your bedroom, they have their bedroom. Works out great.
Right.
My hermit self would love that.
Your what?
My hermit self would love that.
Yes.
Yes.
Right. They also hate anybody who tries to control them.
Right.
Not okay with a hermit. They will withdraw.
Yes.
If a hermit isn't getting their needs for space met, they will withdraw. So what do they hate?
They hate the clinginess.
They
don't
yes.
want that. They don't touch me.
Right.
Just don't touch me.
Don't hover.
Yeah. Don't hover.
Don't hover. Stop trying to fix me.
Right. I already had a mother. I don't need another one.
Right. Exactly.
Yep.
Exactly.
I can take care of myself. Yes.
Yep. Yep. Yes.
Yes.
Now, this particular hermit is interesting because they have a big girdle of Venus.
Yeah.
So the girdle of Venus, I think we talk about that a lot in the video on sensitivity. That's basically these curved lines right up under the fingers that kind of create a little like enclosure around the 2 middle fingers.
Sometimes a smiley face.
Right. That's basically a line of sensitivity. So this person is, yes, they may look like they're very stoic on the outside, but on the inside, they are a marshmallow. But they're still not going to show that to you.
Right.
Not at all. So
maybe doing stuff, but they'll never tell you.
Right.
Never show you exactly.
Right.
But it's in the back.
The hermit, they value loyalty, and they will they believe actions speak louder than words.
Yep.
So if you're going up to your hermit saying, I love you, I love you, I love you, they're going to go, get away from me. Just show me.
Bother me.
Just show me.
If you loved me, you would make me dinner.
Right, exactly. Right.
If you loved me, you would clean the bathroom.
Right, exactly. All right, so here's a hand where the end of their heart line has two forks. They're a little of this and a little of that. So in this case, it's a little of the big heart and a little bit of the romantic, and they're just barely in romantic territory.
Mm-hmm.
If it were a little bit shorter, they'd be a little big heart and a little hermit.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm definitely going with a little bit of the romantic in this one.
Yeah.
So what happens when you have a split heart line, or if you have one kind of heart line on one hand and a totally different one on the other? Well, you have both of those natures within you, and you have to make sure that the needs of each of those gets met. Sometimes you might be a you firster, and sometimes you might be a me firster, or sometimes you might be an expressive person, and sometimes you might be reserved. And you need to make sure both of those parts of you get expressed, and both of you parts of you get your needs met. Now, does that happen often? No. Most people, until they've had a hand reading and we tell them about this, right?
Exactly. Then they're more aware of it. That's why I'm like, maybe.
Right. So both of these people, most of these people who have the split, and I am one of those.
I am as well.
They spend most of their time doing one of those heart lines, honoring the needs of one of those heart lines, identifying with one of those ways of expressing, and may ignore the other one. And that leads to problems when those other needs aren't getting met. And then they might just like have a backlash and get rid of the other way of being and start working on the one that's been ignored forever.
Exactly.
While they ignore the first part of themselves. So it's really important to honor both equally. And that takes a little work, and it's a little more complicated. So, who is your ideal mate? It's not the person who has the same heart line as you. That's for sure. You might think so, because if you desire closeness, don't you think you might want somebody who also desires closeness? You might think that, but that is not how most successful couples work. Too much sameness causes stagnation. You don't right. You don't help each other grow.
Correct.
In some cases, it might even cause competition. Think about two passionates.
Yep.
No, I want to be the center of attention. No, I want to be the center of attention, right?
Right.
Right. So two big hearts could end up wallowing in their emotional expressiveness, right? There's just like, who knows what that household's like.
Right.
That's not to say that it can't work, but
it's an ideal.
It's right. These are ideals. Two passionates, like we said, no me. Two hermits, that is definitely going to be more of a problem, because I need space. Okay, we might not see each other for 3 weeks. Good.
Right. Yeah. I'll text you from the other room if I need anything.
Right. What kind of a relationship is that?
Yeah.
Right. Okay. So they may not even bond very well. And then two romantics. Oh my gosh. Think about those conversations they're going to be having, and maybe accusing each other of things because they made assumptions about what the other person said, having to talk everything out to the nth degree. Or maybe they don't communicate at all. They just stay in their heads and make assumptions about it.
They just think about it over and over and over and over.
Over and over. And then never ask the other person if that's what they're thinking is true.
Because it could be something completely different.
Right. Right. So their job is to learn to really communicate instead of just doing the what ifs in their heads. So that's not to say that two of the same kind of person can't work out. And of course, the heart line is only one aspect of who you are.
Exactly.
And there are many, many, many other factors in the hand that would contribute. But basically, the way we like to look at it is that you do best when you meet up with your opposite. When you are mated up with someone who pushes you to grow out of your comfort zone, and you do the same for them in gentle, respectful ways.
Mm-hmm.
We're not talking about like insisting or hitting them over the head with the 2x4. You can become more of a full human being. We call it integrating your opposite. So you help each other grow. So the big heart learns to be stable on their own when they are with a hermit. I can have closeness, and I can also be by myself and get everything I need from myself.
Mm-hmm.
The passionate person can learn concern for others from the romantic. Oh, it's not always about me? Gosh, I never thought of that before.
Wait a minute.
The romantic can learn to be more in the moment and more in their feelings from the passionate.
Yep.
Getting out of the past and the future thing.
Yep.
What, we're going to like go jump in a river when we weren't bringing our swimsuits?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. Go with the flow.
Right.
Yeah.
And the hermit can come out of their little hermit crab shell a little more and learn to relate to others and see other points of view from being with someone with the big heart who's very good at seeing everybody else's point of view.
Except maybe their own sometimes.
Except maybe their own sometimes. Guilty as charged. Actually, that was a lot more when I was younger. I'm
getting better.
Well, yeah. The number of years I've been on this planet, I hope they did something for me. So this is what we have to say today about heart lines and what it means for finding a good mate. And if you have some interest in learning some other things about heart lines, as I mentioned earlier, in our Facebook group and Readers Guild Forum, we have some great diagrams that talk about things like the braided heart line we mentioned earlier before, the little things that dangle off. What do they mean? We got a few more. Mm-hmm. Oh, the bending over backwards line is in there.
Right.
I'm not sure. Did we cover love at first sight?
Oh, I don't know.
We might have.
We may have briefly.
Right. So we're not going to tell you what that is now. If you want to know what that is, you have to join our group. And then you can always, if you're watching us on YouTube and you like what we're teaching you here, please subscribe to our channel or at least give our video a like. And what else do we have to say? We're going to be back again with some more interesting tidbits about your hands. You can leave us comments. You can leave comments in our Facebook group or under our video, and we will check on them and get back to you if you have questions.
Let us know if you want to see anything specific.
Right. If you have a request about something in the hand.
Yeah.
And definitely check out our other videos. We have some really interesting stuff that you could learn a lot about yourself from watching those.
Right.
All right. Well, that's it for today. And we hope to see you next time.
Bye.
Bye.